Okay, so now we're kind of done for today, and so we want to clean up our wheel. So I want to show you the most efficient way I find to clean up the wheel so that it doesn't take a long time. Normally I have wheel people clean up 10 minutes before the end of class, just because you're going to be using the sinks, and I want you first dibs at the sinks because you do have to clean out this catch. So if I have you start 10 minutes early, then you have plenty of time to clean up, and then hand builders will join you a few minutes later. So the idea is that we're going to have some people hand building and some people on the wheel pretty much all semester. Okay, so first thing first is to clean the metal wheel head. So I like to use the wooden rib tool, and I'll just scrape that, and any extra clay I'll just put right into my bucket. And I want to do this first because once this is clean, I just kind of work my way down the wheel to clean. So, and if it's really messy, you can get a bigger sponge just so that we can use the smaller ones for throwing purposes. But normally your wheel won't be this messy. It's kind of like spin art.
Could you put a piece of paper on here and then do spin art?
Yeah, we've done that in the past.
Did you do that?
That's what we like to do on like the final couple days, just for fun. Okay, so now my wheel head is clean. Then I can start gathering any tools or supplies, and I just put everything in my bucket because then I can walk my bucket to the sink and take care of everything. So what I'll do is clean everything up, put any chunks of clay in here. Any chunks of clay that you have played with today, they're gonna go into your reclaimed bucket. So right over to the side there. So what I'll do is I'll take my container, and I will go to the sink and I'll clean off all of my tools. And just a quick wipe with the sponge and a rinse under the water real quick. It shouldn't take like 20 minutes to clean in your tools. And then what I'll do is I'll take my bucket and I'll kind of scoop out all these clumps of clay that I've collected, and I'll put that into the reclaimed bucket. This water then that's still in here is kind of full of clay, so I'll dump that on the left side of the sink. Okay, that way if there are chunks of clay, it'll filter out rather than clog our sinks. Okay, so then I'll just kind of wipe down my bucket. I'll come back here, and depending on your wheel, each is a little different, but most of these Brents, which are this kind of like mustardy yellow color, the back part has a little thumb tags here that you just press down, and it just kind of pushes out this little circle part and slides, and then the front slides out. Okay, so then I'll take this to the sink and I'll just wipe this out. Big sponge goes really quick. And then I'll come back to my spot and I'll take that big sponge and wipe down my spot around here. And then I just have to put this back together. You'll notice that there's kind of this piece of plastic here, and there's a metal underneath the wheel head, and I just have to wedge the plastic under that metal ring, and they lock together. Okay, probably the first time you need some help to show you that, so just call me over. If you have any of the Shimpos, which are the ones with the white plastic ring around it, that does not come off. You just take a big sponge and clean it out around there. There are two other catches. There's like kind of a reddish brown one and a black one, and they both kind of have two parts that come apart and go back together. Okay, so in the end, this should be clean and clean. Bucket is clean, and back at your spot.